We got.
We're gonna head over to the key.
Yeah.
What they do capture the sweet and hot.
A girl's culture is what you make it.
Not badness.
Guides through the vibe.
How long have you been holding on to this album?
Never wanted once to meet you. I done did my best to help everyone out the ghetto. Even till this day, I wish Buddha's be was still here. Though I know he's in heaven, cause I'm getting here for my name.
We got 7. Oh, then conversation becomes, I'm done. Guys, we have arrived. I changed the kick. This is how the center is. It's so pretty. You have a lounge there. You have that. Another mirror. Aircon. We always look for an aircon. And then this is this side. And then we have that side also. And then cabinet, lapa, and then this is when you get in. There's a kitchenette, and then and then there's a bathroom. There's and then there's a shower. It's small, but yeah. And then toilets, and then there are many drivers. It's still located. So guys, we arrived at our accommodation. We just requested we need to be out of this place in like now. So yeah, we'll see you guys when we get to Smulukong Digital. It's a let's go see what she's talking about. Yes. Hello. Hi. Visiting. Hello. Hi. Hi, guys. So what does that mean?
Media is all you say. That's your only job. The Shasha twins media. It's your job. Okay, if you go upstairs, guys, there's a media room if you want to eat and chill or whatever.
You are.
Nah. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's what happens when you're YouTubers and bloggers and stuff.
Yeah.
Get used to nice things, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. You guys are sorted. You guys want to go inside? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we'll catch up later, ne?
Sure.
So we're gonna head over to the kiosk and then you're gonna pick a spot and sign the name of the
This thing is so cute. It's like a souvenir. Do we get to keep it? No.
BAI Spotlights. And what Spotlights is about giving entrepreneurs, content creators, digital creators an opportunity to share their story, to share what they do. Particularly interesting because he studied engineering and then proceeded to create a very important YouTube channel called Defining. Anybody familiar with Defining? Defining Love?
Yes.
100% Nando.
Woo!
Thank you so much. You shared a lot of the things that I'll be sharing in the talk, so when I share it, guys, please act like you're hearing it for the very first time. So my name is Dennis Ngango, and 2 years ago, around this time, I was at the mall running around looking for 6-gun, looking for biltong, looking for my favorite deodorant because I was preparing to move to the UK. A year prior to that, if you told me that I'd be moving to the UK, I wouldn't have believed it, but somehow to be here because I don't have any feature or rather fiction film experience. But I believed in the stories that had gotten me to that point because at the end of the day, for Dennis, it's possible. You know what I mean? So you being able to tell a story your way and in your voice. And that's what will take a film from good to great. So that was something that I was really grateful for, having my voice. And the most important thing that was really also interesting in that journey was the fact that I had a real audience. When you create on YouTube, you have access to analytics. I'm able to know where these people reside, how old they are, how long they perceive my content, which then allows me to then understand what is the smartest way for me to create for millennial and Gen Z audiences, even in a feature and fiction type of space. So that type of insight allowed me to respect audiences from the get-go. It allowed me to understand that certain content, like for example online, it requires a quick.
Once again, my name is Mketwa Baloyi. I'm a visual and editorial fashion journalist, which is really just fancy for fashion photographer and fashion journalist. But really, I do a lot more than that. I'm a documentarian of the African fashion narrative. One collection, one conversation, and sometimes one controversial opinion at a time. But let me take you back a bit. The DMs that turn into interviews, or the rejections that turn into articles. I'm talking about the meetings that start off casual, but end in creative alignment. It felt like I had found the missing piece to all the other things that I was doing.
What they do captures and makes what I do feel very important. There's many things I think that a lot of us share, like tradition. I think tradition makes us is an individual thing, you know. There's like tradition of what your family does, traditions that my family does. But when it comes to culture and the word culture, that's a thing that we share either consciously or subconsciously.
Along their journey, the podcast delves deep into the creative pursuit and offers aspiring creatives guidance on how they can turn their passion.
Culture is hip hop, dog. Someone might tell you culture is piano. You go to Cape Town and the cool kids will tell you culture is jazz. So what is culture exactly? My name is Julian Masindi, aka Jules, the culture's biggest nerd, and I'm the founder of Culture's Biggest. It's a platform that sort of like documents South African culture and some of the biggest names in our culture. So what I've discovered through my journey on Culture's Biggest, I sit down with some of the most brilliant minds in South Africa. I don't just want to create and become famous. We're shaping minds. We're cultivating new conversations in South Africa. I personally don't want to live in a world where people don't know about Leah Batli.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to live in a world where people don't know about Atta Dlamini, who captures some of the most brilliant jazz musicians in SA. He's on episode 5 on our podcast. If you're a creator, just know that. There is no place, there's no one that's going to put you on. You're going to put yourself on. And that's what culture is. And I just want to say something really important before I leave this stage. If you don't evolve as a human being, culture won't evolve. You know what I mean? Because culture is what you make it.
And thank you for setting the path ablaze. So our next creative is the creator of Uncomfortable Growth and After School is After School. Someone who has felt like a big sister to me and probably to many others. Sis GU. Listen, After School feels like an audio hug to me. It makes me feel seen in the messiness. You know, guys, the 20s? It's a mess. It's the wild, wild west. And everyone's still alive in the room. Nobody's dying. No, okay. Firstly, everyone who spoke before me was absolutely amazing. I unfortunately do have notes, so bear with me, okay? But my name is Gugulezi Ntsumba. I am a content creator, YouTuber, and I like to call myself a regular girl. And that's because a lot of the things that I face and are challenges in my life, I've been able to kind of still make a name for myself and share my story. And I think that's what's so unique about my story, is that I'm very open about the things that I face on a daily basis and my challenges at large. But just to give everyone in the room a bit of a background, I think I had silenced myself and my struggles for such a long time that I needed to vocalize them. But also I was looking for an audience that could resonate, and something that has been very true to my platform today. If it wasn't for my community supporting me and just seeing things for me, I wouldn't even have my podcast. It was honestly my YouTube community that encouraged me to do so. Passion gave me the courage to be seen. And I think when you are a content creator, this is something that's extremely daunting. When I speak to people, the thing that they're most scared of is being perceived and being seen. And understandably so, being on the internet, having people throw tweets at you, their comments, whatever, is really tough. But I think you have to have courage in yourself, in your story, in your journey, to know that you're exactly where you need to be, and what you have to share is equally important. Culture is what you make it. Hey. That's a gem right there.
Thank you. And now I'm gonna sound so unoriginal. I really liked all the discussions. I think it's really nice when people who are doing something come and I think speak what it is they do, and allows us to learn. I personally myself, I think social media is a very strong tool that not a lot of people know how to monetize and utilize in a way that gives that industry a lot of respect. So big shout out to Google. She was just doing her thing. Shout out to you. It was one of my favorites. I also liked, I'm gonna sound like I'm stealing now, but I also really like Julian. Also,
Tilly, okay? Like, we have our favorite lawyer, Kevin Smith, pulling through with the conversation. So tomorrow, we must gather once again for more knowledge, for more fun. And later on, we have what I cannot wait for, the curator's playlist battle. Today, that's what's happening.
All I can say is shots were fired.
Hey, it was getting hectic on social media. Yeah. Oh,
it's about to be heated.
Yeah, you know. Didn't say we did on the two.
Oh, sorry. This is new to me. Passion to the Donaldson.
So it's market readiness for independent filmmakers, emerging filmmakers getting their tools as when they're going to film markets, and also how to pitch for their products. That's starting right now at stage B. And in 30 minutes we'll be having censorship.
Lady standing over there. She is the founder of Brain Engine, where creativity meets strategy. Her keen insights in the film industry stem from her practical experience from post-production.
So if you know me, I'm really not formal. I'm more of a clown, but a formalized clown. Okay, so like Nikki was said, my name is Nando, and I am the founder of Brain Engine. Just to give you a background on who I am, just so you understand why, I should be standing here and why you should actually be listening to me. I've worked across the value chain in film. So from funding, I have, worked around funding from across the value chain. Other filmmakers will say I am, but that's not my forte. I let the producers and the directors and those people do what they do, so I can do what I do. But I like to start things at the beginning. Okay, so how do you know, or what is market readiness? Can anyone give me an idea?
and this is where they're going to watch it, and this is where they farm, etc., etc. So for films like Creed, right? This is how you did it.
Okay, so I was just a few months old. My father was around, but he wasn't raising me. I lived with my grandmother, so he did come through maybe like once a year.
Communicate. That's how we cope as people, but more so South Africa. I think South Africa has a culture of putting comedy first, laughing about the things that hurt, that clearly hurt. Because at the end of the day, it's either you laugh or cry, especially with South Africa. It's,
Not badly. Yeah.
And we are your guides through the vibe. The hosts who do the most for the creatives, you guys, who do it best. Of her talents is her ability to shine light on artists and entertainers.
Oh no, how can I say that? Went to a funeral this morning for someone who I deeply love, my mentor. But again, it was more, it wasn't a sad funeral. It was
You are a powerhouse. You are regal, and the roles that you play, for me specifically, they carry spirit. That's a sort of like yeah, that is you. And I think for me, not only in your creativity, but in your personalhood, it's still there. Thank you. From your first day was an international star. What does it mean for you to exist in the global stage, but to represent Africa?
I think my dad was a Lutheran pastor, so he was studying in Ohio, and that's how I was born in Ohio. And my mom was a nurse. And then they came back after studying in Ohio. I came back when I was 3, and then lived Kwamapumulo, which is northern KwaZulu-Natal, past Stenga, Broadville, if anyone knows that area. Lived Kwamapumulo until I was 6, lived, and then we moved to Canada, Edmonton. We went to the house in Soweto, spent the day with them, and I think it was a christening the day we got there, because it was a Sunday. It was one of the grandchildren's christening, and at least we got to see most of them there on that day. And we got to really just interact, ask them about their grandparents, and that she was such a community builder. She built a creche, Soweto, and these are all things that Albertina, that are not really out there, not known much about. Even in the movie itself, I felt like the character was it was literally, your popcorn will drop, a person who lived. And the fact that they lived and their families are still there and are watching and seeing how we are representing these people, so it was a huge responsibility, so lots of prayer, lots of, asking God to just help me represent this woman in the way she would, if you are able to see yourself on the other side and say, oh, okay, well done, thank you, Sisi. Nami bengizoyidlala kanje kube bekuyimina, bengizofuna ukukhuluma kanje ukube bekuyimina. I would want to hear her say that. Hey, ngiyabonga.
Landslided it last year. Who took it all last year? The king, Mr. Hypeman himself, Lesiba. King, you get to choose where you want to sit.
Sitting on the right, because
I just want to ask for posterity quickly. What's that you have in your hand?
Yeah, no, basically this is something for the gents. I don't want the gents to go home empty-handed. I've got an L for the gents. I'm gonna take that home. After I do what I do again. Thank you.
How long have you been holding on to this L? There's a live, laugh, learn somewhere. That's the
I like her own, he's cool. But the song I'm going to introduce actually has one of the guys from WD, SQ. And I know you love it too. And it features, and it's actually produced by a close friend of mine, who I feel like is hiding his music, and this is an exclusive. It's never been played before. Like, it's really fresh, right? And I've been holding on to this. I've been begging to play it.
I said I prayed for you, 'cause you came, you lived, you fought, you loved, you loved.
From the river to my African style. Oh, mama,
so I pray for my niggas, they pray for my ghost. You pay for my minutes, you pay for the past. I play with my image, I did it the most.
Now talented.
Yeah.